Hey everyone. All right, so today we're talking about how you are creating your reality by not only your thoughts and beliefs, but how you're defining every moment. You're defining in your mind, you're assigning a meaning, you're assigning a definition to what you think is going on. And that is just a huge indicator to you of what dominant state you're in. So we're going to talk more about that, so stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Kim Velez. Excuse the voice, it's getting better, but it's still kind of raspy. If you're new here, welcome. You are in the right place. Here we talk about how do you really shift and overhaul your belief system so that your new natural assumptions are favorable and that you just automatically know your worth and value. And because once you know your worth and value, then you're able to believe any and all possibilities for yourself. So if you feel like you need additional support with manifesting a specific person, I definitely have a free video training on that. Link is below. If you want to start your self-concept work, maybe you are new to this, maybe you're not really understanding what it is, I have an amazing free workbook. It's 21 pages. It's called Limitless in Love. That is free below as well. Or maybe you want a refresher about your self-concept and love. Definitely check those two free items. If you're someone who owns their own online business or wants to own an online business, or doesn't even really have to be an online business, definitely check out reasons why you're not manifesting the level of success that you possibly want, or if you're noticing you're having a lot of negative thinking when it comes to that. I have an amazing free training. It's like a 33-minute training on top 5 mindset blocks that are keeping you from manifesting that level of success that you desire. All right, so let's jump into this video because, again, this can be applied to anything. This can be applied to your specific person. My hair is driving me nuts. This can be applied to your specific person. This can be applied to money. This can be applied to anything in your life, any area of your life. It doesn't matter what it is. You're needing to understand what are the mechanics of manifesting. It isn't that, oh, I want this thing, so that means I'm going to get it. Good luck. Well, you can literally think thoughts and they manifest because your thoughts create your reality. They also create your feelings. But your thoughts are stemming typically from a belief system you have about yourself in relation to whatever it is that you desire. That's what your self-concept is. So when you're defining or giving definition or assigning meaning to any experience that's happening in your 3D reality or has happened in the past 3D reality, that's an indicator to you what your state is as you're assigning that meaning. Because typically when the meanings and choices you're making, really let's just stick with meanings, when your definitions and meanings and observations are, I'm not getting what I want, somebody's not going to give me what I want, this isn't unfolding good for me, I'm never going to be able to get what I want, shit never works out for me, this isn't working out for me. That is an observation from a version of you, a dominant state of being that says, I don't get what I want, that says I'm not powerful, that says I'm not the operant power of my reality, that says I'm not worthy enough to receive the experience that I want. And that's your dominant state, which is why you're observing and defining and assigning meaning to whatever just transpired that supports that. So what is the difference? Because some of you, I can already hear you guys, some of you saying, well, when someone says no, or someone says, you know, I don't want you, or I don't love you, or you go to the job interview and they say, sorry, we're not hiring you, you're going to try to argue with me because you're going to defend your limitations. So you're going to try to argue and say, well, what do you mean that I wouldn't define a meaning to that? That is obvious what they just said, right? That supports what they just said. That doesn't mean I'm in a negative dominant state. Well, yeah, it still does. Because anytime when I'm in the right self-concept and I hear no, or I'm not receiving what I want, or I'm being told no, or it just doesn't look like it's unfolding in my favor, when I'm in the right self-concept, the meaning that I assign to those circumstances is, I have no fucking idea how this is going to work out for me, but somehow, some way it is. Like, I persist in that. I actually know that, I think that, and I don't look at whatever just was said to me, or what I see witness happening to me, or whatever my experience was that is not what I desire, I don't look at that as permanent truth. That means because this just manifested means I'm never getting what I want. I just look at it as, it's either still old shit playing out, or it just hasn't caught up yet. I mean, it's same thing really, but either way, it doesn't mean a fucking thing, because I'm still going to get what I want. And I assign a meaning that's favorable. If I'm assigning a meaning that's negative, then that means I'm seeing it unfavorably, which means the version of myself in that moment is someone who most likely their self-concept doesn't believe they're worthy to have this. So they believe that unfavorable circumstance more than they believe they're worthy to have it. Or I just have such a belief about an area of my life that this is how it always is, which always boils back down to self-concept. So you really got to look at both areas, both, self-concept and the story about whatever the topic is you're manifesting. But I could have a really strong belief system about that needs to be changed. Like, money is hard to come by. No, it's not. It's everywhere. In my country, they overprint it like it's fucking water. It's everywhere. It's free flowing all the time. It's being exchanged all the time. So it's just the belief you have. And so you're going to be able to really know what state you're in when you have your SP tell you unfavorable things, or you text them and they don't respond, or, they're not contacting you and pursuing you the way that you desire. If you're sitting here looking at that, and in those moments, your definition that you're assigning, the meaning you're assigning to that story is that they're not changing, nothing's ever changing, I'm still being rejected, I'm still not getting the movement that I want, this shit isn't working. Well, that tells you what? My self-concept sucks, because if my self-concept was on point, I would know, are you kidding me? I'm so amazing. Like, they just haven't caught up yet. Eventually they will, because how could they not? Because I am the best thing that ever happened to them. But you don't believe that. You're believing in more what your old reality created, or your old self-concept, your old story, your old limiting beliefs created. So you still believe in that more, which is why now that's happening in your five senses experience, it's like that as your truth more than well, I'm so amazing and incredible truth. So this is why you need to pay attention to your mind. This is why you want to observe your mind. This is why you want to assign meaning, even if you don't believe it. Like I say, every video, you're not going to believe typically any new story you're saying, because it hasn't been your truth yet. You're reprogramming your mind until you know it as your truth. That's what you're doing. Most of you still believe your old self-concept. You still believe the old version of SP. You still believe this is how relationships are for you, things like that. So you're repeating the new story to reprogram your mind. That's how a belief is created. It's created because we think it over and over, we ponder it over and over, we accept it over and over, and then we've manifested it, and so it solidifies more in our reality and our experience, so we start to expect it to be this way. And that can take time to shift it, and that's okay, because there is no one to change but self. So pay attention to the meaning you're assigning to the things that are happening around you, and catch yourself if it's not what you want. And if it's your old story, and flip it on its head and say the opposite of that. Say what you actually want, what is possible for you, and who you want to be. I don't think any of you want to be rejected, not chosen, and not feel worthy. It doesn't feel good. I know, I used to think that. It does not feel good. Nobody wants to feel insecure. It's the worst feeling in the world. And nobody wants to feel not good enough. It sucks. So you're not going to believe that you are good enough when you've never felt that way in this area of your life. So that's why it's patience and persistence. That's why you persist in reprogramming your mind until you know it as your truth. And then you don't think that way anymore for the most part. There still might be moments of insecurity and doubts, because we're human, and in the human experience, that's just part of the process. But it's not who you are. It's not what you expect. It's not what you know to be your truth anymore. And that's the goal. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.